Greetings and welcome to another edition of Political Empire. I'm your host, Kim Pearsall with the Press Enterprise and PE.com. We are inching closer and closer to the election, and today we're going to talk about a new poll and new money in one particular race, the 36th congressional race, and then we're going to talk about all of those congressional races and how much they're bringing in terms of cash contributions. So first, the new poll and new money. The race between Democrat Raul Ruiz and Republican Mary Bono Mack is getting very heated out in the Riverside County desert, where the two candidates for California's 36th congressional district both say they're winning. Throughout the campaign, Republicans have said that they are confident that Bono Mack, a 7-term incumbent, is safe in the seat, which also includes the Pass area, Hemet, and San Jacinto. But this week, the National Republican Congressional Committee responded to a deluge of Democratic money being thrown behind Ruiz, spending around $600,000 on TV advertising opposing Ruiz. Bono Mack's camp, of course, came out with a poll showing her well ahead in the race, and two Democratic polls released this week show Ruiz with the slight edge. So who's to know who's in first? Now we're going to talk about campaign cash cows, generally all of the campaign contributions that have been coming in for these congressional races, with our very own Washington correspondent, Ben Goad. Ben, thanks so much for being here with us today. So the campaign mailers don't grow on trees, but actually they kind of do. Campaigns have become a pricey enterprise. Here to give us the rundown is Ben. And Ben, you wrote a story today that appeared in the print edition of the Press Enterprise. Tell us a little bit about what's going on, how much is being brought in for all these campaigns. Right.
So the new numbers are reflect spending money that the campaigns raised and spent between the beginning of July and the end of September. And during that time, candidates for the 7 seats that touch Riverside and San Bernardino counties, they spent over $2.1 million, almost $2.2 million in that time, a large amount. At the same time, they raised about $3.1 million. So we're talking about a lot of money here.
Now, in your story, you highlighted one campaign in particular, the Tavellone-Takano campaign. Tell us a little bit about that. What was raised there, and how much are they spending?
Right. This has been one of these races that seesawed back and forth throughout the election cycle. Both sides have had big quarters. They have, in total, raised a similar amount. Tavellone a little bit higher, with $1.2 million of the election cycle, and Takano with about $1.1 million. However, Tavellone won the quarter, raising about $429,000, which is a pretty sizable amount. Takano, at the same time, raised about $363,000, and going forward, Tavellone has a sizable cash on hand advantage, so more money in the bank.
Now, at the top of the episode, we talked about the 36th congressional campaign, how it's getting much more heated. Curious because there was $600,000 spent, like you noted, on the anti-Ruiz TV commercials. What's going on there with that campaign, spending-wise, campaign contributions?
Yeah, well, I thought that maybe the biggest surprise of these recent round of reports was Ruiz bringing in over $500,000. He raised $545,000 in that time, bringing his total for the cycle to about $1.4 million. That's a lot for a guy who's really a political novice. This is his first race. Meantime, Bono Mack brought in about $387,000. She still outraised him for the cycle, bringing in about $1.9 million. But you really see this race heating up out in the desert.
Well, Ben, thanks so much for the update on all that was raised in these races since, I believe, July. You noted it's a lot of money. And thank you for joining us for another edition of Political Empire. We're your source for political news. So see us again tomorrow.